Ahoy folks, and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So we have another day one build for you. This one's still using the Desperado ability, but we're going down into more of the Stimm side of it. So let's jump in and have a look. So weapon-wise, we're using the Shiv still and the dual stub pistols. By all accounts, the stub pistols are incredibly overpowered, so we're sticking with them. Modifier wise, you can dump out mobility or collateral if you really want to. I mean, I hate mobility, but I mean, I might have to begrudgingly accept that mobility might be quite useful on the Hive Scum. And collateral, not massively useful. It's stagger. We don't care too much about stagger. So yeah, we could dump out collateral for mobility or mobility for collateral, whichever you fancy. The other three are quite useful, especially penetration. Lol. Shivs, again, dump out mobility. Everything else looks quite useful. Perk-wise, we're going with Carapace Unyielding. This is going to top us out to be able to like hit those annoying targets. I don't know exactly, because as I said, I haven't tested this, but looking at the breakpoints, I think it's going to be okay for flak and everything below. So Carapace Unyielding is probably a pretty good choice. As for the Shivs, we're going with flak and Carapace. It's just going to give us a wide base of what it can damage. Perk-wise, on the Shivs, we're going with Riposte and Uncanny Strikes. Very much like we would do on like a Zealot knife build. As for the pistols, we're going with Desperado for crit, and we're going with Speed Loader for reload speed after close kill, stacking 5 times, so 50% reload speed, and we're basically going to be in melee using these, so it's very, very useful. Heroes wise, I'm tempted to stay with this. I am going to test though whether an extra stamina is going to be useful, because the Hive Scum does do a lot of things with stamina. So for the moment, it's 2 toughness, 1 stamina, but it might end up being 2 stamina, 1 toughness. All depending on, how the tree interacts with stamina and how much toughness regeneration we get from all of the abilities. Because if we have a lot, we might be able to drop our max toughness down a bit, because we can regen fast enough that the actual amount doesn't matter too much, if that makes sense. Whereas having more stamina is going to allow us to do more stupid things. But the perks on here are going to be toughness, combat ability regeneration, and damage resistance to gunners, because they're still the biggest threats to a less tanky class, because they will just shred you. As for the stamina one, we've got health, combat ability regeneration, and stamina regeneration. I mean, you can just change the health out for toughness, which is probably what that should have been. So toughness, combat ability regeneration, and stamina regeneration. That's just going to help you, obviously, regen stam. And also, it doesn't just help you regen it, it increases the speed at which stamina starts to regenerate, which is the biggest thing we want. We don't really care about its regeneration, it's how fast it starts to regenerate. Otto, please stop destroying my desk. Now, let's have a look. We're taking in your face 25% range damage against targets within 12.5 meters, scaling down at 30 and beyond. Replenish toughness on kill. Elite specials instead replenish 15% toughness. Speed reload speed for 8 seconds on close range kill. This is going to work really nicely with speed load, which should give us what 50, 60, 70, 80% reload speed at max stack. That's not bad, pretty nippy. Moving target, gain 1 effective dodge while wielding your ranged weapons, 15% melee damage on first enemy hit with an each attack. Float like a butterfly, perfect block and successful dodges grant 20% critical strike chance for 3 seconds. If this was just perfect blocks, I would say don't bother. But successful dodges, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. So, very worth taking this point. These two, not as useful. Calling for a timeout, 25% toughness damage while reloading. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but we need points elsewhere. I mean, it's not a stellar, oh my god, 100% meta take. Again, for the Blitz abilities, we don't know which one's going to end up being the strongest. Blackout just seems to be the most useful at the moment, but, you know, a bazooka or chem grenades, they might be awesome. Who knows? We shall test that tomorrow. But for the moment, going with Blackout, it literally doesn't change anything. The points go the same way. Next up, we've got Gang Tough, 10% range damage and 10% toughness damage reduction. Into Slippery Customer, one of the most powerful abilities in the tree. While sliding, gain melee attack immunity. Basically, it means you can slip and slide like in Warframe, and you can't take any melee damage, which is very, very good. Nimble, dodges are extended by 25% and time considering dodged by 50%. Again, massively overpowered, which is great. Jittery, plus 40% dodge recovery speed while stamina is above 75%. This is one of those stamina talents that I was talking about. So, again, we might take more stamina, but we don't know at this moment in time. Then into Ruffian. 10% melee damage for you and your allies in coherency. This is going to require testing because we don't know exactly how it's going to interact very well. So it could end up being the Anarchist or Gunslinger improved. Who knows? As this is still very gun focused, even though we are taking some melee skills, it might get back put over into Gunslinger improved or the Anarchist for just flat crit. We're then taking the enhanced Desperado. I mean, I'm not going to read the entire thing out for you because people complain when I read the entire thing out. And then we've got pick your targets, gain 25% rending for you and your ranged attacks when enhanced Desperado is active. And then killing highlighted enemies restores 0.5 seconds ability cooldown and elites increase more. Then we'll start down here on the left for a critical chance boost there of 5%. Quick and deadly, 15% close range damage for 3 seconds after a successful dodge. Clip size increased rounded up, and pickpocket, killing an elite or special enemy while ammo reserve is below 20% will refill it back up to 20%. This is going to help massively to stay out of the bum's rush to try and get as much ammo as you can. Then we've got punching above one's weight, 15% damage against elites and monstrosities, and then we're going into toxin strength. And extra pouches for one more blitz charge. Sample Collector, kills replenish 1% of your Stimm cooldown. Killing chem toxin infected enemies instead replenishes 2%. And then we've got Chemical Dependency. Using a Stimm grants you a stack of dependency for 90 seconds, so each stack gain 10% ability cooldown reduction, up to 3 max stacks. Stacks decay one at a time. Maxed out chems, each stack of dependency now instead lasts for 60 seconds, but max stacks are increased to 4. And then Chem Enhanced, each stack of dependency additionally grants a 5% critical hit chance. With another 5% crit, I mean, we could push this up into crazy levels of crit. Now, the Stimm lab, sorry. So as you can see here, it shows you the cooldown. The more points you put in, the longer the cooldown will be. So it is worth not going full balls to the wall, so that you can use this more often, especially if you're going for chemical dependency. You want this as low as you can, but with the most bang for your buck. So, cooldown regeneration, very, very useful, especially if you're going into Enhanced Desperado, and we're using it on the Curios as well. So that's 12% off of that. And then 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26... 30 or 40% cooldown reduction. I'm not good at quick maths, leave me alone. But, you know, that's a lot of cooldown reduction. And then we've got Spur for attack speed, weapon spot speed, and more attack speed and stamina cost. And then Wildfire for just a small strength boost. But as I said, you want to keep this as low as you can so that you can benefit from chemical dependency as much as you can. About 50 seconds, I'd say, is a good spot to be in. I mean, you can go completely crazy with it, but it will take you up to well over how much you go? About 73 seconds. It doubles the time, basically. So That is quite a long cooldown. But it's up to you. And again, we're going to have to test the timings, because this is all theory craft at this point. I have not been on the PTR to test any of this. This is just fiddling around with builds, seeing what other people are doing, and just kind of trying to work it out through nothing but theory craft. But there you go, folks. There is another day one build you can potentially try out tomorrow when it comes out. If you've enjoyed, please do like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, do all that lovely, lovely stuff. And I shall see you tomorrow for the release in the live stream. So until then, take it easy and just see you later.